Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome back to InfraSpace, the core. That's right. And in today's episode, we're actually going to put together our first real core. Now, obviously, it will not be fully upgraded, but in this case, it will be totally filled out and ready to go. So with that, we've been busy on the research, letting it run behind the scenes, and now that we've got enough of it done, we're going to actually fill out our first real core. So let's get to it. So at the end of last episode, we were letting a little science run in the background while I was working through just getting down the cores. And sure enough, that science continues to run in the background. In fact, we're about to stop it. I think this has 15. Yeah, so we're about to kill this off. We'll just flash up a little bit of fast science here just to take care of it. I really don't care about improved wind turbines, but I don't want to waste the 15 science. But we could always throw it into something that means actually something. You know what? We'll just throw it in there. Just let the trucks go. Let the trucks go crazy. Yep. Everybody drive out. Let's go. we're emptying out. We got to shut this down, and the reason is that as you can see, we did actually let science run for a bit. It's amazing what you can do with just 20 people. You know, we got blue and green science done with nobody, but there is no way we're going to get the yellow science done without at least bringing in a few more people. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the cores here and we're going to do the basic layout of the core. We are not looking to upgrade it at all, right? In fact, none of these we will fill these all out first before any upgrades actually happen. We just want to get in the basics, get people in, because each one will hold 8 by default. Well, they will upgrade because of the oxygen and the basic firm, but after that, then we're good to go, right? You are, green science packs 13. Oh, you need blue science packs. Well, all right, that's fine. You can, we'll take that away. Right? You want, 13. Yeah. So deliver that guy some blue science packs, would you? We'd appreciate it. Meanwhile, we don't need this. We don't need this copper out here anymore, so that's fine. Yeah, get rid of that. And look, we're saving workers all over the place. It's great. What is it you need? Yeah, you need this. You need carbon. Well, you've got 28 stored, so you're actually really good. You just need the workers now, so I can crank that up. Let's see. Zip. There we go. Workers abode. Let's go. Do the worker things. All the worker things. See, and that's gonna be more than enough. So I can kill this off. Boom. Yep, thank you very much. We do, well, it says we have enough carbon. Because I only need 1 carbon. We got 27. So we should have more than enough there. Boom. It's gone. Hey, if all we need is the science, I just need like 10 more science blue trucks to drive out of this building. That's it. I guess I could have left the miner in there for the bonus, but whatever, right? So let's have a look now. We'll get that science in, then we're going to blow them 2 up. Let's now have a look at a core. Now, this, of course, is your basic pattern of the core, and I explained mostly about that in the first episode. Now what we want to do is we actually want to get this down a little bit more. So, obviously, we're not worried about putting in schools and stuff, right? So all we want to do is get in 3 things. Houses, right? Well, we're going to need a little power. We'll get to that in a second. We need houses, we need basic farming, and some oxygen. Make sure these guys can breathe, right? So, in this case, that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that looks good. Now, also up top here, we need a little bit of power. So, the power is right there. Boom. Like so. Basic farms. Basic farming. Farming of the things. There we go. Basic farms. Yep. And they're all going to, of course, panic because there's, well, 1, there's no spaceships to get them down in here anyway. Oh, and I love how the game can't figure this out. Like, there's a space right there, dude. And there's no way to rotate this building, right? Like, yes, I can force it that way. If I turn around, can I force it this way? Nope, it refuses to do it. There should be a way to manually force rotate a building. Now, that's fine. You just got to do this, and now it will force itself in, but that really stinks because I just had to use concrete for that, right? Like, I just had to lose that piece of road to make that happen. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but we'll make this work. We'll make this work. So, oxygen. Now, we don't actually have oxygen, right? So we have to go with these combination machines, which are terrible. They're terrible. But we're going to go with them at the moment anyway. You bet. So right now, we're just going to put these up here, but we're going to take them out later because obviously that's where the schools have got to go, and we don't want to be blocking that up. So we'll just throw in some more housing here, like that. Now, obviously, we still got to get power up there. We're like, we didn't just magically fix the power problem or anything like that. So we're gonna get some. We're gonna get our housings in here. Yeah, come on. There you go. I was gonna say, please turn the right way. I really don't want to fight with you today. That's awesome. Now we'll go back to oxygen, and that's gonna be a 1, 2, 3. I know you're all very cranky with no roads. It's all very bad. In fact, we'll do this side too, just because I'm already here. In fact, we'll take the basic farms and we'll get you up and running. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And then we'll do this side. There we go. That's 4. And yay, wind turbines. Listen, while we're thinking of that wind turbines, listen, I don't need you to do any more science right now. We'll be back for science. Just not yet. Not yet. Okay, so let's get our roads in here. Now, in this case, we just need simple roads to do this part. Right? So a little road there, and a little road here. Yep. And a little road there. And let's actually get the housing in here, I guess, before we try and put down the roads on this one. There we go. And, yep, come on there. There you go, big guy. All right. And we'll do that. And we'll do a little of this. And do a little of this. And do a little of that. Perfect. Now, this should actually be probably enough neighborhood with enough farms just to kind of get a population in. Now, again, I am not giving these guys parks. We're going to fill this all out with this. Okay? This is this is where we got to start. And I need these guys enough so we can at least bump up our research production. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run some power around, get everything kind of hooked up, get it running, get a landing pad in because they'll want to land. And with that, I'll bring it right back. All right, so it's been a few days since the last cut, and as you can see, the town is doing quite well. It just bebops along with its 460 people, and we are doing good. Now, we've made a few changes. These are oxygen processors, not atmospheric processors. So how does that mean? Well, once we had the town populated with the people, we could restart the science, which is what we did over here. So basically, we put the science back in, except this time with the 460 people, we could afford to actually now do yellow science. And it was actually amazing that with just 20 people, you could do all the blue and green science. But obviously, for yellow science, you need a lot of complicated things. Like you need neural processors, you need motors, and then, of course, you still need green science. So to do all of that, of course, there was no way I was going to pull that off with just 20 people. And so, of course, once the city had populated, and I call it a city, but when our little gathering up there had populated with its 400 people, we used those 400 people to actually do the rest of yellow science, and this has now been totally complete. So the only research we have left to do is red science, but 400 people just isn't enough. I'll tell you right now, you need a lot of stuff for red science. So our little rinky-dink science plant out here has been doing all the science. But now it's time to get rid of all of it because I need all of these people to do other things. So the easiest way to shuffle people around between science and your industry is, of course, set up your science, get your science done, and then strip these jobs away because we don't care about these jobs anymore. The science is done, right? Now, yes, I will have to set up science one more time at some point in time to do red science. And that's fine. That's a thing you got to do. So we'll do that, and we're gonna take this town away, right? Because it's served its purpose now. We've used the people to get the science all done, and what we want to do now is we're gonna strip this all out, strip that all out, and now we're gonna take this core over here. I would think. No, actually, we'll probably take this core. This core has this nice open space here, and what we'll do is we will now set this core up to become the first real core, right, with all the research of all the things. So, it will get the schools, it will get all the food, it will get all the proper stuff. And we'll set this core up so as we know exactly what it takes to make one core function. So, with that, I have to blow some things up. I'm going to take this all out. And then I'm going to bring you back once I'm done stripping this all out, and we're going to come back and start that core. So we'll see you in a sec. Okay, so it's a little funny. When you destroy everything, I think the game gets a little confused and says, hey, I'm going to demote your city if it has fewer than 4 level 2 citizens, except that when you have no citizens anywhere, it just kind of gets stuck. It doesn't know what to do. But that's okay. We'll make this work. That's fine. I'm just going to ignore that anyway. Of course, we have taken out all the things. Hey, you know what? We'll take you out too, just because, you're going to confuse me if you stay there. Of course, our 20 people are now back down to 20. And we do have a little steel and a little concrete still working away because we're going to need more of that all the time. And this one solar panel here is handling that. Now, to bootstrap this this first core, I've set up a few solar panels over here, but really we're going to not be with that very long. This is just to kind of get the city up and running. So with that, let's get this started. So let's go with this way because it's a little easier on me overall. Do. And that's 1, that's 2. I think this is where the third one goes. And the fourth one goes here. Yeah, so that fills in that circle quite nicely. So let's start getting some housing down. Yeah, housing. You betcha. So we're going to do some housing here. We're going to do some housing here. Of course, we're going to do that housing on the other side. How dare you do that, house? I seen you do that. You think I didn't notice you, but I noticed you, mister. That's right. You go in there the way I want you to go in there, mister, and that's it. There is no discussion here. So we're going to keep going. Get the housing in. Now, obviously, you got to watch me do a little bit of this the first time. So with that, I'm going to bring it back once I've got all the housing planted down in here so as you can see the pattern taking shape, and I'll bring it right back. Okay, so with the housing now down, and so it looks like all the houses are in. Of course, I had this not paused when I started, so of course it started flashing. We're going to hook up the power now, though. Now, I do not expect the amount of power we're generating from them few solar panels to be enough. So we're just going to run this out here and plug it in. Now, I'll hit the play button, but I don't expect it to be enough power, I don't think. Oh, okay, well, it only requires 18 megawatts. We're doing 225. All right, so, of course, the next thing we're going to do is, of course, these guys are going to complain about oxygen because, obviously, you need oxygen to actually get the house started. right? So we're going to do that. Next, I'm going to run around with a bunch of oxygen and put that in all the oxygen places, and I'll bring it right back. All right, now with all our oxygen in, I'm going to actually let this play for a bit. Yeah, I know, not enough workers. So obviously I would need 193 workers to make all this oxygen run efficiently, right? But I don't need 193 workers at all because there's no way for anybody to populate this. I haven't got a landing pad here. So in this case, what we want to do is we just want to, we're just going to run it for a bit. Yeah, that's the thing we're going to do. We're just going to run this for a bit. Now, to get that to work, what we need to do is I do have to temporarily shut down my my concrete and stuff. Now, instead of destroying the buildings again, I should be able to do this by just telling it, hey, you know what you don't need to do? You don't need to do any of this right now. You know, we don't need any carbon or any of that stuff. I need you to be doing all the concrete or all the O2 things that you want to do. So that should help with our issues here at the moment. And let's go back over to this core. Now, a few of these should have jobs in them somewhere. I'm sure of it. Oh, I got to finish hooking them up with some roads. My luck, it took the 20 people. Yeah, so like there's one person there, but they can't deliver anything. So let's actually start hooking these guys up with the necessary roads they need. So you're gonna go like that, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do right there. All right. So at least this one guy, he can deliver his stuff, and I got to do that for several of these. I got to go around here. And put in these little secondary roads now, because these are what actually attach these centerpieces to the grid. So of course it takes a little time for me to run around and do all this. Too bad there wasn't a blueprint system in this game, because this is definitely where you'd want a blueprint system now, right? You'd be like, yeah, I could just blueprint. I could just make one core and then blueprint this for the rest of my days. I'd be really happy about that. But that is definitely not going to happen. So I guess without a blueprint system, I got a little bit of work to do. So once these guys, see, like, look at them. Look, see that, like, Mr. Truck's going to drive out here and go to his first house and start dropping some oxygen off. Right there they go. Look, see, 2 little blue trucks. They're going to pick a house. I don't know what house they're picking. Okay, well, it's nice to know that they just kind of ran around the neighborhood. It looks like this one must be working because, this guy got oxygen. They're going to be a little while filling up, right? 20 people. We're making 20 people do an awful lot of work in this game so far. So with that, I'm going to bring you back once I got all the roads hooked up, and then we'll go on to the next piece. Look at that. 20 workers have gotten all the oxygen out to all the houses. It's amazing. So we're going to now put in the farms. Now, I guess I should show you. Under production, I have cut everything off, including these farms. So even though I'm going to put the farms in, because there's no population to work them, and I have not approved of any, this means now we should be able to put these in no problem, and get this to work, right? So basically, listen, just get in there, would you? Like, oh, gee whiz. Okay, so I have got to go through here. I've got to put a bunch of farms in, right? Like a bunch of farms, and so, of course, this is going to take me a little time, but it's not going to impact anything. The oxygen guys are still going to be the oxygen guys, and they're just going to keep driving around with their oxygen while they pretend to do things, like delivering the pretend oxygen to the pretend houses that have no people in them. It's going to be awesome. So, of course, once I get all these farms in, I'll bring it back for that, and we'll move on to the next piece. Okay, with all the farms in, now we're actually going to do something slightly different. Obviously, after the basic farms and stuff, the next thing they want, I think, is computers and blah, 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 and a bunch of stuff that doesn't get made within this core specific. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out the rest of the core of the things that can be filled in. Hence, one stadium, right? And it turns out that one stadium covers every house in here. Now, the houses aren't asking for it yet. Whatever. It doesn't matter because we're not going to allow any production of the stadium yet anyway, right? So we would keep these sliders at 0 until such time as we want the stadium to come online. So that's fine. So we'll just get rid of that. So we need 4 parks. So there's 1, there's 2, there is 3, and there's 4 parks. And again, oh, I see I've got my house on the wrong side of the road here. Excuse me. You have to come to this side of the road because this is the side of the road that you belong on. So let's check them parks again. Yes, and it will pick them up. I'll probably have to let it activate here a little bit. But if not, I'll take them out because I do. Again, this is why you don't see any houses out here on these far reaches because that doesn't help us any. Okay, so now for the schools. The schools. All right, so we know there's a school there, schools there, school there, school there, and basically the shape, as you can see, kind of dictates where it's going to go. To make sure that there's coverage, right? So we kind of got these 3 schools up here, and then we'll do the 3 schools down here. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. Don't know why that didn't reach that. That should be covered like this one, but I'll check it out afterwards. I'll double check my blueprint here to make sure that it's covered. And we know there's one that goes there, and there's one that goes here. Now, as to why that's kind of strange that one school isn't covering this side of things. If I had to guess, I would say I have my farms on the wrong side. Yes, it is. So you'll notice here it's school farm. Here it's farm school. So I've got my schools on the wrong side here. So what I'm going to do is I'll fix that up. No problem. Easy to take care of. And then that will handle all of the buildings that we can basically place into this core. So just hold on a sec. I'm going to bring you right back. Look at that. One complete core layout. You betcha. Now, of course, obviously, the difference between this and a grown-up core is that the buildings are still at level 0, or basically level 1. They don't have any citizens in them yet. But I must admit, it looks really cool to look at it. Before all the buildings get really tall and you can't see them anymore and all that stuff. So, it is actually pretty cool to look at it in this format. Now, let's do that. Now, the school thing, yes, by swapping the schools around, you see now that there is proper coverage for them, and so that's good. The other thing I noticed, my parks had 2 houses earlier. Basically, the oxygen had to be swapped. So the oxygen was on the inside of these. We just had to swap the oxygen because oxygen doesn't care about the parks, right? It's just a service, right? So same over here. We swapped the oxygen with the building, with the housing, and now the housing is within limitations. And of course, the one stadium will provide all the stadium needs of this core. So we should be good to go. Now, with that, what are we doing on the next episode? Well, on the next episode, we are now going to, we're going to plug this in, and then we're going to see about getting all the other needs met, right? Because then these guys are going to start wanting computers and, all the other crazy things like VR education and, what other all kinds of other crazy factories we got down here? Yeah, oh yes, home appliances. Oh, and home robots and blah 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 blah, and all these other things that they're gonna want. So we're gonna plug this in, and then over here is where we're gonna build them. Hopefully, all their needs. Right, and this is really what this space over here is kind of for. It's to measure out to see just how much stuff it takes to make one core work? And then can I take this, what it needs to make a core work, and then do the rest of these cores. So with that, I'm Max. This, of course, is InfraSpace the Core, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.